Precalculus Lesson 21 is circles, the first of 4 conic sections we will be studying in Chapter 5. This lesson is from Section 5.2 in the College Algebra textbook. Conic sections may be envisioned as slices of a double-napped right circular cone like we have here. Geometrically, we think of a circle as the slice of the cone that results by cutting through the cone with a horizontal plane, resulting in the familiar circle. The definition of a circle, we envision a circle in the plane, in the xy coordinate plane. A circle with center hk and radius r greater than 0 is the set of all points xy in the plane whose distance to the center, or the point hk, is r. The equation that we usually use for a circle, the standard equation, is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. We have an alternate form. The general form of a circle is x squared plus y squared plus ax plus by plus c equals 0. And we start with a circle in general form. We're going to find the center and radius of this circle and sketch a graph in just a minute here. To find the center and radius, I'll put this equation in standard form. X squared plus y squared plus 4x minus 8y plus 11 equals 0. I'll start by collecting the x terms, x squared plus 4x, and then the y terms, we have plus y squared minus 8y. Moving the constants to the other side, I'll subtract 11 from each side to get negative 11 on the right side of the equation. And then we want to complete the squares on the x's and the y's. I have x squared plus 4x, leave some space, plus y squared minus 8y, leave some space, equals negative 11. To complete the square on the x's, I'm looking for a number such that I will end up with x plus 2 times x plus 2, giving me the 4x in the middle. And I can see that that would give us, in the end, x plus 2 squared. How do I get that number that goes after the 4x here? Well, I just take 2 times 2 to give me plus 4 here. We cannot just add 4 to one side of an equation, though. We need to make sure we add 4 to the right side as well. And then I'll complete the square on the y's. A faster way to do this, maybe, is to see that the middle term here is going to have a coefficient of negative 8. If we just take negative 8, divide it by 2, and then square it, I would have negative 4 squared, or 16. So I'm going to have y squared minus 8y plus 16. I will also add 16 to the right side to keep things balanced, and then rewrite my equation as x plus 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals negative 11 plus 4 plus 16 would be 20 minus 11, or 9 on the right side. So I can see here that I have a center, remembering x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. We would have a center hk, which here would be negative 2, 4, and r squared here would be 9, telling us that the radius is the square root of 9, or 3. So we have a radius of 3. We'll go ahead to graph this circle next. And to graph the circle, the first thing I would do is to plot the center of negative 2, 4. Given a radius of 3, I want to extend out from the center in every direction a distance of 3, connect the resulting points, and here we have the circle. Now, let's put the equation of a circle with given properties into standard form, where here the properties are that the center is 1, negative 3, and the circle passes through the point negative 5, 2. So here we have hk, 1, negative 3, and a point on our circle, the point xy, is where x is equal to negative 5 and y is equal to 2. So starting with our formula, we have x minus h. Here that would be x minus 1 squared plus y minus k. Y minus a negative 3 would be y plus 3 squared equals r squared. I don't know what r is, but I can use this point we're given on the circle to find r. So I'll replace x with negative 5, I have negative 5 minus 1 squared. I will replace y with 2, so I have 2 plus 3 squared equals r squared. Okay, so negative 6 squared is 36. 2 plus 3 squared would be 5 squared, or 25. So we find r squared is going to be equal to 61, it looks like. Okay, we don't really need to find r here. R squared is good enough for writing our circle. The equation of our circle would be x minus 1 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 61. Okay, so we have it. Then next, we're going to find the equation of a circle again. This time we have the endpoints of a diameter are 1, 6, and negative 3, negative 2. So looking at these two endpoints of the diameter in the coordinate system, we're going to have something that looks like so. The first thing we want to do here is find the center of our circle. So note that the center is going to be the midpoint of those two endpoints of the diameter. To find the center, I could think of the midpoint formula, and so to find the center, the x-coordinate of the center would be 1 plus negative 3 divided by 2, or 1 minus 3 over 2. The y-coordinate of the center would be 6 plus negative 2, or 6 minus 2 over 2. And so we get a center of negative 1, 2. And right here you can see the center on our circle. Okay, the next thing we need to do to write the equation, we need to know what the radius is. So to find the radius, if you think of it like this, the radius is the distance from the center to a point on the circle. So it would be the distance from the center, negative 1, 2, to, we could use either endpoint. Let's just use the endpoint 1, 6. To find the radius, the distance between those 2 points, I would use the distance formula, the square root of 1 minus a negative 1, or 1 plus 1 squared, plus 6 minus 2 squared. And so that would give us the square root of 2 squared would be 4, plus 4 squared would be 16. We end up with our radius is the square root of 20. Okay, so let's put all this into an equation. We have x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Here h is negative 1, so we're going to have x minus a negative 1, or x plus 1 squared, plus y minus 2 squared equals r squared. So note, if our radius is square root of 20, r squared will actually be 20, and we have our equation of this circle. And here is the circle. Now try on your own number 1. Find the center and radius of the circle, x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 10y plus 18 equals 0.